Hey guys, Sableye VGC here, and welcome back to another episode of Crazy Climbing. This time, VGC 21 got the proper layout. It's a little bit of a quicker fix, but I also didn't see a point of really doing a whole layout overhaul and making something new. I still do like this layout, so we're going to stick with it for now. Unfortunately, still no Zapdos Galar TCG image, but we are rocking a pretty good team here today, guys. I did get up to Master Ball with it on stream the other day, so if you want to check out the VOD, feel free to do so. It is up on my Twitch channel, which is in the description as always. But we're sitting at 641 right now, and guys, I'm gonna be honest, this team is absolute fire. I love this team. Dracozolt is phenomenal. It's being slept on immensely because of the sand. Like, Dracozolt in sand is an absolute terror. Like, normally, right, you get the sand teams, you get the Excadrill, you get the T-Tar, and then Finny kind of just comes in and they kind of can't really do anything if the Finny's played properly. But now you got a Dracozolt. They can't really bring in a water type to beat the sand, right? And realistically, all they really want to do is maybe bring in Sun, but realistically, Celesteela beats all the grass types and everything else outside of it. And in Sun, you get Celesteela maxed in Sand. As long as the Sun doesn't stay up, Celesteela just wins the game. Interesting team here, though, from Jacob with the Metagross, Landorus, Tapu, Finny, Porygon 2, Incineroar, and Rillaboom. So, Rillaboom is probably one of the more concerning members of my opponent's team, but that's only because I'd love to bring Swampert versus Metagross Landorus and Incin. Like, Swampert would just be phenomenal. But the problem, like I said, is that Rillaboom. So, probably going to be wrong. If I bring Swampert, I'm going to need to go hard Rillaboom counter. I'm tempted to lead Zapdos. It covers the Intimidate lead because they have double Intimidate. So, the chances of them bringing one of them are very, very high. So, Zapdos is coming here. I might actually go Zapdos Celesteela, just because there's really no reason to do anything else. The problem with this is I don't really have a lot of switch-ins, unless I go Pert and Dracozolt. But if I go Pert Zolt, I don't have Sand. The only thing I really need Sand to outspeed would be the Landorus, but I'm not hitting the Landorus, so I'm okay with this. I did go 10 and 2 to Master Ball. 10 and 0 to Master Ball tier last night with this, and of course I lost the last few. But at the time of recording, anyways, you guys probably won't see this for a few days after that stream. But anyways, we're chilling. And hopefully we can pick up right where I left off on the stream, because I really do want to feature this team, even though I said do like 6 times in that last statement. And there's the Incineroar. So you love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. And this isn't the greatest, I'm going to be honest. It's not amazing, right? Because they are probably getting Trick Room up, because let's be real. They're faking out Zapdos here. Now I could max Zapdos, but I don't think a +1 max... Actually, you know what? Do I gamble? I could gamble and go for the +1 Max Knuckle into Porygon. Because realistically, what are they doing? Like, what are they stopping here? I wouldn't normally recommend this, but like, based on the back end, like, on what's in the back for them, I don't know what they're stopping. So we're going to go for the kill on Porygon here. Maybe hoping he just fakes out the Zapdos, because realistically, I don't think there's much that he really wants to do. I don't think I'm going to pick up the knockout, but I'm going to go for it just because I do think it's a really solid play. Like, I feel like in like a best of 3 I wouldn't do this unless I knew for sure my opponent, like what my opponent was going to do, and I got a read on them. But in best of 1 right now, I'm going to go for it, and they are going to fake out. They are going to fake out right into that Zapdos. So exactly what we wanted there, and depending on how much this Knuckle does, we could be in a good spot here. Yeah, that's not going to pick it up. That, unfortunately, is not going to pick it up. But we do have a +2 Zapdos. And, I mean, that's pretty solid. If this does kill, which I don't think it does, I can't see it killing. Yeah, no, Porygon 2 is too thick. And there's a Trick Room. Okay. So, I mean, I'm still alright with this. Like, the Porygon has to click Recover here if it's going to do anything. And I am going to pivot out of my Celesteela into the Pert. Because right now, Pert is a free switch, and he's not bringing Rillaboom. As long as I keep these 2 pieces, Rillaboom really can't do too much. So, number 1 goal is keep these 2 pieces. And if they recover with Porygon, I get a free knockout and an attack boost again. So, there's the recover. And like I said, I figured I'd just take it out now. I guess I could have killed the Incin, but worst case scenario here, they parting shot. And that's not really too big of a deal. But yeah, they just stay in. They're going to click Flare Blitz. That's going right into Pert. Pert eats that basically for breakfast. And now a +2 Knuckle is going to pick off this Gonna pick off this Porygon. I am a little bit concerned about potential Metagross switching in now and still having the ability to Dynamax is a little concerning. However, I think we're alright here. Like, I had no reason to take out the Instant. Maybe they brought Lando. And if they brought Lando, it's just a free Intimidate. But I don't think they would. Yeah, here comes the Metagross. Not surprised to see the Metagross at all. But realistically here, I'm not really... I wonder if I do Airstream this Instant, though. I am very, very tempted to Airstream. Actually, I could just Knuckle the Instant. And just literally just pick up the knockout immediately right there. Like, even no matter what switches in, I'm +3. It's gonna rip it to shreds. What are my back options here? Steela and Zolt. I mean, Earth Power into Metagross is scary enough. So I am gonna go straight for the Knuckle into you, and I just don't want to give it the Policy right now. I'm gonna Scald and go for a Burn. I don't really want to give it Policy. I know Zapdos can take an attack, so there's really no reason for me to go for it. And there's the Rillaboom, and I would have Airstreamed, but it's perfectly fine here. Like I said, +3 Knuckle. If +3 Knuckle isn't enough to kill, I'll be shocked. So he is going to max the Metagross, and I'm very confident that I'm going to be able to survive. Unless he's Psychic. If he has the Psychic move, it's going to be a little concerning. One, though, I could get the Burn before he gets the attack off. So... we don't know the speed tier here, so let's figure that out. Step 1 is this speed tier. A Burn would be absolutely massive. Swampert is going to be first. He does get the Scald off. A Burn would be huge. Not going to get the Burn, but it is going to go Steel Spike. Zapdos should take that. It's not super... yeah, okay. That's good. Zapdos does take that. I might have actually been able to take a Psy Strike. Not Psy Strike. That's the max move. The Z move. What's the max move? Mindstorm. I might have been able to take the max Mindstorm as well. But we do get this Knuckle coming out again. Obviously not going to kill. But that is a huge chunk of damage that you'll love to see there. And they're also running out of Trick Room turns. Obviously, you know they're going after Pert. Steela comes back in for the Pert, and I protect my Zapdos. And then I just start pivoting around into a point where he's wasted his max, and I just win the game. Because realistically, Zapdos being on the field right here is phenomenal. I really do wish I would have Airstreamed, though, because I literally just would have won the game. But, like I said, protect Zapdos and pivot back into Steela here. I don't think there's much my opponent can really do right now. Like, this endgame is basically stall his max and then sweep with Zolt. So we'll have to, hopefully that plays out. I'm expecting a Grassy Glide or a Wood Hammer into the Steela and probably just another Steel Spike. Step 1 with the Grassy Glide is complete. Steel Spike right into the Protect of my Zapdos. Yep. Perfect. At this point, I'm perfectly fine just going straight for the Air Slash into... am I though? The one way... does that lose me the game? Because I'm thinking, if I swap Zapdos into Pert here, I'm thinking, does that lose me the game? And, honestly, I think the answer is I don't know. But I should probably think this one through. Okay, so I bring in Zapdos. Let's say I bring in Swampert. He calls that and Grassy Glides my Zapdos. Swampert goes down. Celesteela doesn't die to Metagross, and I take the Rillaboom. At that point, I should still be... you know what? That's still fine. That's still fine. And if this works out the way it should work out, we're still in a fine position. So, like, there's no threat of him killing Celesteela here, unless all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere with like a Fire Punch of some sort. But Rillaboom's actually going to protect, so really good play from my opponent right there. And maybe just going for some sort of Rock Fall, trying to get rid of Celesteela. Speed tier here is good. Okay, so Celesteela is actually going to be outspeeding this Metagross when Trick Room's done. So as soon as Trick Room ends, I'm pretty sure I have this game now. And their max is gone, and I didn't give them the boosts. And Swampert just healing back up here. Like I said, this is why I wanted the Pert for the Metagross here. Literally just takes attacks. Like, there's not a lot Metagross can really do to you. Of course, Quake is going to hurt. You got to be careful not to give them the policy, but if you play it right, you're fine. I believe there's one more turn of room. There is actually no more turns of room. Pert is going to switch out here. I don't think there's a reason. There's no reason. Zolt's not really a risk here to bring in. And I am just going to get an Air Slash into the Rillaboom. They could switch Rillaboom out, probably into Incineroar if they were to do something like that. But I don't know. I feel like if they do that, they're risking my Swampert just staying in here and killing Metagross. And I don't know if they'd really want that. They are going to switch out, so I could have just stayed in and killed the Metagross. Okay, that's fine. Realistically, though, I'm still alright with this. Because Dracozold's not going to die to whatever move anything this Metagross can go for. Iron Head's not going to do much. I haven't seen the tech move yet. Because normally you either go Psychic, Rock, or Ice. Rock and Ice being the two more common ones. But, yeah, speaking of which, it is Ice Punch, and it is going to hit my Celesteela. So Steela going to take. Nothing crazy happening there. We do get a nice little Air Slash off here. So is this a speed tie between the Metagross and the Celesteela? Or did I just miss something earlier? It's very possible that I just missed something earlier as I choke on my own spit. Let's double protect here, stop potential fake out. And then from there, just going for Bolt Peaks into the Incineroar slot because that's the slot that doesn't have the boosts. Killing this Metagross is going to require Swampert. So it's just going to be a matter of pivoting into position for that to actually happen. Fake out coming out, Dracozolt, probably Ice Punch into Dracozolt as well. Actually no, they Ice Punch to Steela, so not what I would have gone for there, but respectable nonetheless. Bolt Peak should kill Incin, because Bolt Peak is an absolute broken move when you can move first. So Bolt Peak going to come out, going to pick off the Incin hopefully, and if it doesn't pick off Incin, it's because the Incin's switching out, and I'm going to Air Slash that as well. Just punish any slot. That slot is dead this turn is basically what I'm saying here. Incin, unless it has Protect, which it's not a Perish Trap team, so I'd be very shocked if this Incin were to all of a sudden reveal Protect. Like, it's not a move they commonly run. Okay, perfect. That's fine. Like I said, though, Rillaboom goes down, this game's over. So, if I get the Rillaboom here, we should be perfectly fine. Like, even Bolt Beak, to be honest, is going to do pretty close to knocking it out here. So, pretty close to 50%. And here we go with the Bolt Beak coming out. I'm going to connect, going straight into the Rillaboom. It actually, yeah, almost did straight up pick it up. So, Metagross going for the Ice Punch, still going, that's okay. They do correctly target the Zolt there, but Zolt's going to be alive, and Air Slash is going to connect, drop the Rillaboom. And at this point, it's all elementary. Just make the moves that don't lose me the game, if you know what I mean. But as long as I don't seriously throw anything away here, we should be fine. I get the special attack boost on the Steela there. I need to save Dracozolt for a late game. Do I? See, I want to save Dracozolt, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to take damage on anything else that I have. He's going to click Fake Out. And because he's going to click Fake Out, I'd imagine into the Zolt as well. I am going to save Zolt here and bring in the Perp. I have the grass that he gave me to recover. And I am just going to simply click Air Slash into this Incin. I don't know if I'm going to get it off, but Steela is bulky enough to take anything they decide to go for here. And Swampert has no problem taking Ice Punch if it has to eat it. It's not going to love taking it, but I will be able to eat it. There's a Fake Out from the Incin into the Pert. Very nice. Ice Punch as well. Should double the Pert. Yep. Actually, no. Did Ice Punch actually hit the Steela? The Freeze is fine. I am Lumberry on this Celesteela. Not for this reason, but it's mainly for the Sun matchup with Venusaur and stuff. But it comes in handy in this exact moment. So, Incineroar getting chipped down there quite a little bit. And Swampert and Celesteela both being on the field right now. All I do is double the Incin. Because all I have to do is kill the Incin. Scald will pick it off. Actually, you know what? I might as well guarantee it with the Earth Power. And Air Slash as well. I mean, he has to pick a target. If he kills Steela at this point, it's fine. There's the Ice Punch. I believe that actually double Swampert. Okay, nice. Okay, no para. Sorry, no para. No freeze is what I'm trying to say. Now I wish I would have done Scald, because what I'm going to do, what's going to happen here is I'm just going to give him his policy, and honestly the policy might be enough for him. Although Earth Power is going to start packing a punch, yeah. He can't pick both, so we should be fine. There's the policy, which we all knew about. There's no shock that I had a policy there. And at this point, we're good to go. So this Metagross is going to drop. Like, he has to pick a target. He can't Earthquake to kill both, so he's got to pick one and hope I protect the other. And in which case that would be a throw, but I still have 4 Pokemon, so Earth Power, Flamethrower. I haven't gone for the fire move yet, so maybe he thinks I don't have it. Maybe he thinks Metagross can tank it. Ice Punch should go into Pert now. Ice Punch does go into Pert. Pert is going to drop, but Pert did the job already. It did what I needed to do. Flamethrower coming out. Just going to finish this thing off. So, we are going to take this first game here with the team. And honestly, guys, I've said it before, and I said at the start of this episode, this team has actually been killing it for me. So, it is really fun. The one matchup I don't necessarily love is probably something to do with Garchomp. Garchomp would definitely give this team a little bit of issues. Regieleki is also not the most fun thing in the world, but it is a winnable matchup, so don't get me wrong with that. I'm not going to bother checking the team. I do that on stream, but I'm not going to bother here. On YouTube, I feel like it's just better to get into the battles. But either way, 487 now, which isn't too bad. 11-2, good start to the season, I must say. So we are going to get a trainer almost immediately now, and what do we got? We've got Pocky here with 644 as our ranking, and we've got Dracozolt Sand, so can't, you know, I couldn't have asked for a better starting episode to feature Dracozolt Sand than to play against Dracozolt Sand. And also, let me know what you guys think. Should I have the lights on in the back when I record? Like, I guess I'll leave them on. I don't know if I have them on when I record. I know I use them for streaming, but, like, I don't know if they're worth it while recording. Like, I don't know, maybe I should leave them on. They don't look bad, but maybe I should focus on this battle. Okay. The Cinderace is a little concerning to me, especially because they have the Tailwind option. Did I play this last night? I feel like I played this last night, and it was Scarf Milo Flip Turn into the Cinderace. Flip Turn into Policy Cinderace. Well, I played that last night. It might be a different core here. I think it is a little bit different as well. So I don't know if I'm going to expect that same turn. But I'm going to go Dracozolt. And I think I want T-Tar in the back so they're not as scared. They don't have Intimidate, so I don't really need Zapdos here. I'm going to go Steela. Steela's still a really good mon. T-Tar is nice to switch into that flame move, or fire move I should say. And realistically, the last question just comes down to how I want to stop this Dracozolt. And I think I'm going to go Swampert for it. Swampert does a really good job at not getting Bolt Beaked. So we're going to go Swampert. And honestly, Pert is probably the second least used mon on the team, but I stand by it being on the team for the Regieleki matchup, and for matchups where it can just kind of sit here and not really be targeted too much. It does put in a lot of work, and they don't even have a grass type on their team. So Serval and Melodic is okay. So they go anti. I guess this is an anti-Trick Room lead for them, but just seems odd to me. Like they don't. Why? Like why this? Like of all the leads they had that scared my team as I knocked my webcam and it starts shaking, but of all the leads they had to scare my team, this I don't think was one of them. Because like I don't think they even have a switch in, right? Like what's their switch into a Bolt Beak? Dracozolt that's going to take 50%? In fact, I might actually Bolt Beak you because you're not staying in with Melodic. It's fine. I'll hit the Melodic. And then I will bring in the T-Tar just to go zooming. Because it will eat a potential Mystical Fire from this Indeedee. It will eat the Expanding Force from this Indeedee, which is a little bit concerning, I'm not going to lie. Like, an offensive Indeedee here is really kind of terrifying, so maybe I should have targeted it. But, yeah, I definitely should have hit the Indeedee here. This is my bad, guys. Although, this really isn't the end of the world. Dracozolt Bolt Beacon to protect. As long as Zolt lives, we're still not in a bad spot. Yeah. Doesn't affect T-Tar, and Zolt is what? Going to survive? Ow! Okay, yeah, so I threw this game. I should have killed. All I had to do was target the Indeedee there. I'm assuming the fact that that killed me, it's probably Specs. I think you'd need to be Specs in order to kill me there. So that's just a misplay on my end. I knew the Melodic wasn't going to stay in and take the Bolt Beak. I don't know why I targeted it. Like, I really couldn't tell you. But Steela comes in now. And, I mean, I'm not out of this game because I have Air/Rock Slide. Airstream Rock Slide, sorry. So I can just start zooming and start clicking Rock Slide and hope for the best. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Because at this point, after that turn 1, I need to somehow pull this one back. And they're actually going to Dynamax here. Into Dive Ball, I'm assuming it looks to be that Melodic. So, questionable Dynamax from them. but definitely not completely out there. I do respect that a little bit, especially if they go for some sort of geyser into my T-Tar and limit the amount of turns I'm going to actually have T-Tar for. So we see the Melodic Dynamax before the Celesteela, meaning it's going to be faster than me. So it's going to get to attack before my first Air Scream. However, I don't think they can kill T-Tar here. Like, I have a hard time believing T-Tar is going to die here. Like, just a really tough time. But it's fine. Like, if I lose this game, it's on that turn 1 where it was very obvious protect from the Melodic or a switch out from the Melodic, and I didn't take advantage of it. But Expanding Force is coming out, of course, not going to affect the T-Tar. And Celesteela, gonna take it. I actually did a lot more than I thought, so I'm gonna lock in my Specs answer here and confirm that it's Specs. And guys are going into Steela. Steela gonna be able to take, with taking less than 50% as well at the same time. So can't complain about that. And depending on what comes in, I may actually Max Flare next turn. It's unfortunate that this Indeedee is alive because I would not have minded the Beast Boost. I would not have been against the Beast Boost here. We're going to get a nice little Rock Slide off though. And we're going to drop that thing and Melodic's going to get chipped down a little bit. Obviously not a lot, but a little bit's nothing too bad. Is that lefties? I think we've already seen lefties, right? Actually we haven't. But either way, lefties it is, and this is going to be an interesting end game here, guys. I don't know if I can pull this back. The maxing Melodic, though, I think actually gives me a chance. Electrogun is what? Dracozolt. Okay. So they bring in the Dracozolt here, and I can't really do a lot to hit that thing, which is a little bit of a unfortunate turn of events. I'm tempted to Max Flare, like I said, just to keep the T-Tar alive. Just to keep T-Tar alive, and then I will Rock Slide here. If I'm faster with both, there is a chance. Okay, the Protect is fine here. As long as T-Tar survives the turn, I'm really not going to be too mad about it. Okay, nice. So I am faster. I know the Max Flare is not a crazy good play. I don't expect it to do damage at all. But what I do expect is T-Tar to be able to survive this turn now. And T-Tar surviving this turn is just going to give me Rock Slides. And that's just damage. Without it, I don't get the damage off, so I'm not going to complain about getting damage off. You're probably going to Geyser my Tar. Max Geyser coming out. Should go into T-Tar. T-Tar should live because the Sun's going to have this damage. Yep, T-Tar is going to live. Not greatly. And now at this point, I just go for the Airstream. I actually might Protect an Airstream. I could also Steel Spike an Airstream. I don't know if I need another Speed Boost here. So it's either Steel Spike or Airstream. I got the policy. Getting to +2 speed with T-Tar though would really help. Just to enforce the fact that I can Rock Slide here. The problem though is this Dracozolt. I'm going to Airstream into it because I do need the chip damage. And I am going to Protect. Although, do I live if I Protect? I think I have to live. I have to try it. I could Flare again. I could Flare Protect, but that doesn't really help me. They're actually going to switch out Melodic here. And I really do respect this play because it's going to be T-Tar coming in. It's going to be their T-Tar coming in, and I am going to lose my my Celesteela. Unless for some reason they decide to target into my T-Tar, which would be alright. But something I guess I am +2, so maybe they will. Celesteela doesn't scare Zolt right now, but yeah. They go right after Celesteela there, and Steela not taking that. We've seen Zolt be an absolute beast before, so that's not surprising. It's a little unfortunate from my end there, for sure. That I could have won this game had I just not been dumb, turn 1. Because it was definitely Specs Indeedee, so I literally could have just killed it turn 1 and won the game. But Pert coming in here actually does keep things interesting. Of course, it's not like the greatest thing in the world. I'm going to Earth Power. That will pick up the Zolt. And I think I'm going to need to attempt a double Protect. If I get the double Protect, we actually do have a shot. Interestingly enough. I haven't gotten a double Protect in a while, so maybe I can get lucky. Speaking of which, we get lucky. So we do get that double Protect, which does just put us out of a bad situation. There's the Bolt Peak into the Protect. I need to get an Earth Power off. Nice. Earth Power going to go off, going to connect into this Dracozolt. It is going to drop. So now with a +1 speed T-Tar and Rock Slide at my arsenal, there is a chance. Lash Out coming out. No stat drops there for the T-Tar here, so it's not going to do too much. Yeah, it's not going to do too much. Swampert is capable of taking that quite well. And at this point, it's Rock Slide time. Now, I don't know if I want to hit this T-Tar with a potential Scald or anything. I could technically just straight up superpower the Tar. I am faster than it, and maybe that is the play. Although I don't know if I win that endgame. We're in sand, so maybe I do. We are in the sand, so I wonder if I go for that. Because if I can kill the Tar, I don't know. So part of me just wants to click Rock Slide, but I don't know if that's the optimal play. I just don't know if Tar protect. Does Tar really? T-Tar might protect on their end here. I'm gonna Scald and I'm gonna go Rock Slide. If they don't protect, then I could have clicked Superpower into it. This is definitely an unfortunate turn for me. But Rock Slide coming out. And hey, maybe I can get a few flinches to make up for it. But I do a good chunk of damage there. Milo going for a nice little recover. That's fine. And I'm assuming T-Tar probably goes... His T-Tar goes for a Superpower into mine, which would make the most sense. Wish I would have Scalded the T-Tar. But at the same time, I don't really want to give it a boost. Burn wouldn't be bad. No. We do get a crit, though. And they are going to Superpower. No flinches, and they superpower me, so I could have superpowered them. When I lose this game now, because it is on me, I am going to lose this game now. I could have pulled it back. The double protect gave me a chance to win, and I said what the right play was. I literally said the right play is to superpower them, and I just didn't. Why I didn't? I was kind of concerned about them clicking, protect. Now, if this Earth Power kills, I definitely threw last turn, because Rock Slide Earth Power, that means Rock Slide Earth Power would have killed last turn, and it wouldn't have been a concern. If Earth Power kills, I actually do maybe have a chance. Not a good one, but it depends on what the Milo spread is. Obviously, we know this Milo has a water move. Earth Power is not going to be enough yet, so I would have needed the flinch last turn. Rock Slide was never the correct play there. I think Superpower 100% of the time. I was just scared of him going for Protect Scald, and then me dying to Scald before I got another attack off. But Per is going to actually eat that, but it don't matter. It doesn't matter, guys, and normally I'm not a type of guy that's going to forfeit, but there's literally no point in wasting everybody's time with this endgame, so I don't see a win con. Why did I click Protect? I want to click Run. But that is going to do it for this episode, guys. I'm going to be back definitely with this team. I am really enjoying this team, so we're going to be using this. And guys, for those of you who may not know or who are new here, the pastes to the team are always in the description down below. I do not give out EV spreads unless I'm willing to fully release the team or doing like some sort of team report. But the team is there, and honestly, most of them, this team will probably still function with some Picolytic spreads as well. So they do have a really good resource there, so feel free to use that. With that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I still don't have an outro, even though I said I was going to. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.